Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Better Monday Fasting. In this video, I'm going to talk about why I see fasting as a journey and how we can turn it into a journey. So I've been living my fasting experience as a journey, and that's what makes it like really exciting. So I'm hoping to share the excitement with you, and maybe it can inspire somebody else out there to see fasting as a journey and have fun with it. Before getting started, nothing I share in this video or on the channel, it's medical advice. So please do your own research before making any health-related decisions. Really want to roll me over. Sorry about that. Yeah, so fasting as a journey. Once we start fasting, I mean, usually the first initial fast, it's possible that we're going to experience some symptoms depending on the techniques you use to get started. I have 3 videos about that, on how to get started with 3 different techniques and 3 different videos how to get started with fasting. So like the first fasts, like I would say, don't judge fasting after the first sessions, because they're probably going to be the most difficult ones, and it takes time to get results. Even though like with fasting you will get some immediate results, but I mean, the naturally order, it takes time, and we've been so accustomed to make symptoms disappear with modern medicine that we're just like waiting for the results like right away. But that's not how nature operates, you know. And we're a part of that nature, our bodies, and so it takes time. It takes time to get results, but you will get results eventually. So why is I see it as a journey? Because with fasting there's really like a sense of progress and self-actualization. So each time we'll complete a fasting cycle and recoup, then we'll feel like the difference, you know, in comparison to how we used to feel at various levels, and usually it will be for a better situation. So if you're into self-actualization and feeling better, like it gets very when you have to pass like the first cycles first, but once you started like you start iterating, going through the different cycles and seeing the results, then it becomes very motivating, you know. So what's going to happen is that what you're going to be experiencing during the fasting period, it's going to change. So you're going to become stronger, so you're going to deal better with the symptoms. And also the symptoms, they might happen at a later time, you know. So if you had your first fast like 15 hours in, start having this huge headache, but it might happen again on the next fast, but maybe it's going to happen later, you know. And that's actually shows that we make progress. So that's why fasting is not boring. Like if you're fasting regularly, it's not like, oh, I have to do the first day again and the second day again, the third day, like to. Yeah, I mean, there are some, in certain areas you're going to feel similarities, but at the same time there is this overall sense of progress that I find it like fascinating. And then as you're going to grow stronger and getting more accustomed to fasting, you're going to be solving like different types of problems. So you're going to be building like different set of tools with fasting. I have another video called like a Swiss Army knife like tool, fasting as a Swiss Army knife like tool. And in that video I go over several tools I developed like with fasting. And that takes also time. It's a little bit like a video game, you're like you start a video game, you have no weapons, and then you earn points, and then you start having like different weapons and with or tools, and with those you can build things that are going to bring you more resources, etc. Like, so I feel like fasting is a bit it's a bit the same. Like, we're not only like cleansing the body and doing a detox, and then go back to gonna do my daily, try to do my daily grounding here. Wow, it's like they're little. Oh no, there's music. Oh, that's not gonna work. So let's see if I can find another spot. So in that sense, it's very, very exciting fasting. It's we're building tools, we're making progress, and then we're making better decisions. We start making better decisions with fasting, and that also, thanks to better decisions, we're having a better life since we're making better decisions. So it's a whole. And there's a park there. Let me go to that park. There are kids, but maybe I can manage to not. So for various reasons, like fasting, I see it as a journey, and one of the most important tools we're going to be creating, it's the fasting will help us make macro decisions, like huge decisions. Should I move to another country? Should I quit my job? Should I start a business? And for that too, like fasting is very powerful to make the right decisions, because usually we tend to make decisions with our brain, but in reality that's not the best way to be happy. YouTube doesn't want kids up here on so I'm just trying to avoid. I'm in a park, so that's interesting what modern society turned into. So and those macro decisions are super important, like it's when you take it once and it's gonna affect maybe 5-10 years and everything that comes after that. So it's very, so if you make them like as close to your true self, I'm not saying it will be the most, maybe the comfortable choice, or it might not be the most lucrative, but I think you'll be closer to happiness, I mean, that happened to me. I was in the US, I stayed like 11 and a half years, and yeah, I had a really good job, but it wasn't in my field. And I had, a couple years earlier, like I had finished college, and yeah, I was feeling like, oh, I'm not getting, I'm not, like I invested all this time and money into this like diploma, and I'm not getting like I'm not getting the return on investment. That has how I was seeing it. So then I was like, oh yeah, let's go back to Switzerland. And now that I have a diploma from a good university, I will get a pretty good job with a decent salary in my field. And so I mentally, come up with this plan. And the most interesting part is that it worked. Like the plan worked perfectly. I went back to Switzerland. In 2.5 weeks, I find a job and start working. In about 3 years, I got a promotion. So the plan worked, but even though like I was really, when I was proud and excited to work on that field. I mean, not all of it was negative, but my prior life was better. I was happier. So yeah, that taught me like a big lesson. And then I lost that job eventually in my field, and then I started fasting. And once I start fasting, I start making decisions more with my heart and my gut, and try to make decisions closer to my true self. And since then, I'm very happy. I make way less money, but I'm way like happier. And that's like, it's thanks to fasting. I mean, in general, with fasting, once you cleanse like your system, you will start making at all levels like better decisions. But also, I use fasting as a decision-making tool. So when I have to make a decision, like I don't know, should I stay, should I go, and it's a major one, then I allow myself like a few days of fasting. And the fact that we separate ourselves from the material with fasting, well, he starts making, we start making better decisions, and then it's just, so we keep fasting and we get stronger, and we experiment with different fasting patterns, and that makes us stronger. And so like right now, it's like, I try new fasting patterns, and that are pretty challenging. I mean, I have almost like 9 years of experience in fasting. Like I started in 2000, was like, if I'm not mistaken, March or May 2016. So yeah, like I mean, the some of the patterns I'm doing they're pretty advanced, but they create like eras in my life, and nothing is forever. So I ride the wave of that fasting pattern, and then I come up with another one, and it creates like chapters in my life, which also gives us like that idea of a journey. It's a journey. So a journey, it's not like, of course we're gonna have routines, we're gonna have discipline, but it changes. Like life changes, everything changes. So you have to adapt to the changes. And with fasting, it's like we always have to challenge the body in a different way, or we need to rest from fasting to miss it, and like gain like more strength, so we can do the next jump. So the entire thing is like, it's just fascinating, and it's I see it as a master tool, because it's not just oh yeah, I did some fasting and I lost some weight, or oh yeah, I had this little physical issue and now thanks to fasting I solved it. Yeah, I mean, all those things are gonna happen, but it's just it solves like problem at all levels, you know, and that sense of yeah, making progress, uh, being able to optimize, uh, that excitement that comes from what's next, you know. Uh, all those things are very, like they're very inspiring. Like lately, I've been since May, since I started. By the way, I just finished writing a book called For a Better Monday, and I started writing that book. It was May 2024. I was in Medellin, Colombia, and I started this fasting pattern. I'm on a 18-6 intermittent fasting pattern. So I fast for 18 hours and I have an eating window of 6 usually. But then I start skipping some of my OMADs, and so I start skipping 1, then 2, then I came back to 1, then I came back to 2, and since I'm in Paraguay, I moved to Paraguay in July, early July 2024, and yeah, and I've been on mostly the 2 days skipping 2 OMADs, and for the past 3 weeks I've been on the skipping 3 OMADs. So I only eat 4 meals a week, and yeah, it has been fantastic. Like, I mean, it really helped me with you know, the writing and publishing process of the book, and so I will remember it as an era. You know, I'll be like, oh yeah, I was doing that, you know, OMAD skipping pattern, and while I was writing the book. And now today I just finished reading for the 3rd time the Spanish version of the book. So there are little tiny details we have to take care, and then I'm gonna send it to formatting, you know. So that's one more thing, and like all this era is gonna be pretty interesting. And I'm already thinking about the next fasting pattern. So it's very, very exciting. Very exciting. Well, everything like everything that I'm doing, it's I feel excitement, but they come like I think all this, like the energy and the inspiration and being able to do all those things it's just I see it as a byproduct of fasting, you know. It's just I changed. Like I just want to do more things. I can cope with more things, and fasting allows me to be strong, to travel, to learn new things, not live with fear, you know. And so it's amazing. It's really, it's an amazing. Yeah, it's a gift. It's a gift. I see it as a gift, gift of God, gift of nature. Like, it's really, fasting is it's amazing. So I'm done with my grounding. Put my shoes back, and I think it's like the mosquito hours. So they start like biting me a little bit. But yeah, so I really recommend, like, I mean, fasting is the best thing that happened to me. But also, as we start fasting, we get more familiar with it, then we also change our vision, you know. And how you're gonna see it, and how you get a kick out of the fasting patterns and seeing it as a journey, and all those things makes that you're gonna get a lot of pleasure out of it, and it's gonna make you fast more, you know. Because if you approach it as something like like medicine, you know. I have to do it because I have this problem, I have to fix it, so let's get over with it, and then I'm back to my old bad habits. That's not I mean, it will be better than nothing. Any fast is better than no fast, you know, but I mean, seeing it as a journey, it's a lot of fun because it's gonna lead you somewhere. It's gonna lead you. Look at me, I'm in Paraguay right now. You know, it's just, you know, it took me out of Europe fasting. Then I went to Argentina, I went to Mexico, I went to Peru, I went to Chile, I went to Guatemala, I went to Uruguay. I went back several times to Argentina. I went to Panama. Went, you know, 6 times to Mexico. When I was doing like kind of, yeah, I like kind of. I mean, some people they want to do the world tour, you know, like the country counter. That's what they get a kick out of that. I'm not like that. I like to go to same. For example, like in Mexico, I went 7 times to Querétaro. You know, so like to me, it's also like I like making friendships, and it's always great like to when you come back and you see your friends, you know. And also like with some of the people I meet, I share the word of fasting, and then it's very well, some of them they just listen, they don't do anything about it, but some of them do. And when you see, you know, like you don't see that person for a year, you come back and he's like, Ali, you know what, I've been fasting. And so it's very I mean, I know that it's working on me, but seeing it on other people and being the person who was maybe the source of inspiration, who helped initiate the process, it's very yeah, it's very rewarding. So that's also why like I like yeah, I like coming back to the same places, and because also where like each country, each city I go, each neighborhood, I build my little routine. You know, I develop a routine that works with my lifestyle, and it's a great pleasure when you know, you go back. For example, like if I go back to Medellin, you know, I'm gonna rant because I've experimented with different places, different neighborhoods, and now I know like where I want to live and everything. So when you come back, it's just like from the database you're getting the file, you know, Medellin file, and then everything is you. So you go to the gym, you pay your membership, and they recognize you, you know, like and then, you know, like the grocery stores where to get the proper food for my diet, and the places I like to go, you know. So that's a really kick. Like maybe you don't. I mean, I get a kick out of it. Like maybe you don't discover a new place, but also like yeah, like going back to a place you like, and then getting your, you know, it's like you miss that routine, you miss the people, and so that's also very it's something, and it gives you another perspective. For example, Querétaro, like I was in Oaxaca before going there, and I just went for a woman, you know. I had no interest whatsoever, and it was kind of harsh, like the first visits, when I was really like happy to be with her, but like I was how to put it, I mean, Oaxaca is so great, like the food is great, like people. So Querétaro, like it didn't cut it for me, like, you know, at first I was really, it was kind of like I didn't like the food. I mean, there are some very few places in Mexico that the food is not good. Very few, but there are. But as I will gain more experience with living in Mexico and Latin America, and, you know, learn more about the reality, So coming back to Querétaro, I start developing like a taste for it, and I start appreciating it because, I mean, it's a super safe place, you know, especially if you live like in the historical center. It's super safe. It's nice. It's very well maintained, you know. It's very like it's the architecture and everything, like it's very and then with food also you find, I mean, first I struggled, and of course when you come from Oaxaca it's very difficult to beat that, you know, but then I find some tasty places, and so I wasn't cooking when I used to live there, so I find some good food options. So then I developed like a taste, and also Querétaro is it's very practical because from Querétaro you can take a bus, and in 3 hours, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, there are buses that go directly to the airport, you know, of Mexico City. And so if you don't care about Mexico City and you just have your flight there, you know, instead of going to Mexico City, maybe stay a night there and, you know, and fight with traffic and all that, you rent a place in Querétaro, and you just plan it, you know, early enough, and you take the bus. And Querétaro is very easy to get around. Like there's no much traffic. It's very low key. So that the morning of your flight, you wake up, you know, you go to the bus station, you take your bus, and the bus arrives at the airport. You know, it's super convenient, like, and you didn't have to deal with anything in Mexico City, you know. So that's later on I used it, like I mean that relationship ended in 2020, and with the pandemic and all that. But then I kept once in a while I will go like independently of my love affair. Yeah, I mean, it was like a gift from that person. Like Querétaro was a gift, and I had my friends and my routine over there too. Like I had a great routine. Like even though Querétaro is not near the sea, like in the Querétaro market, there's this guy who brings coconuts from where he told me. I think he gets them from Michoacan, or I don't remember where he gets them from. But they're really good, you know, the coconut water. And so yeah, that was like one of my routines, you know, go to the gym and get your coconut water. It was very like affordable and huge quantities, you know. Like I'll get like 2 liters a day. Sometimes, yeah, we'll get 1 liter on the spot. I'll take it at night, put it in the fridge, you know. Nothing better than that, like, you know, like then you just because at home you can get them. You can get it even colder, you know. And so yeah, like and all this life I'm having for the past almost 9 years. It's thanks to fasting, you know. Thanks to fasting, like that journey that takes you from place to places and shows you what is important, what's not. Now I'm super proud. Like my 40s, I'm like 49 now, and I started fasting. I was like 41. And yeah, when I was almost 41 and a half, I moved to Argentina, and my life has been great. Like, you know, like that decade, like it's gonna be very memorable for me. And so what's the goal, you know, like that's the goal. You know, that's the goal, like for me, like to be able to say that, like say like, you know what, like my 40s better than my 30s and maybe better than my 20s. That's huge. And And that's all thanks to fasting. Because maybe if I wasn't fasting, I'll be thinking like, oh, don't leave Switzerland. And I mean, it's such a rich country. You will never make the amount of money you're making here. Stay here, find another job, and keep pitching in for your pension, and because you live in the best country that exists. No, it's like, but at least, it could be for someone else, but for me, obviously, it wasn't. So fasting made me face that it wasn't a good fit for me, and yeah, for all those reasons, turned me I'm a fasting fanatic. It's yeah, it's such a, and I don't care that much about health, and I don't care that much about health or the fasting itself, but it's just what it allows you to do. It makes your dreams possible. You're 40 something and you tour Latin America. You go on your own country, you tour 21 shows in your own country. You go to the Iraqi border, to the Iranian border, to the Syrian border, to the Georgian border, the Greek border, the Bulgarian border, playing shows in front of people and stuff like this. And yeah, it makes you, yeah, it opens doors, and that's the excitement of the journey. You open one door, you enter one room, then you do what you need to do in that room, you open another one, there's another one, there's always another one, and it only gets better. So then to perceive it as a journey, that's of course in your head, yeah, that's up to you. Because you can also live it as hell, you go, oh, I have to fast 14 more hours, and you look at the clock, so it's a perspective on how to look at it. But all those things, when you think about it, like the fasting patterns and seeing it as a journey and keeping a journal, you're building the new you, you're building it's an exciting project. It's a project of reconstruction, and it feels like there's no limits. I always feel wow, I did so many fasts and all that, but I feel like I'm at 5%. It's hard to measure, but that's the feeling I have. I'm like, wow, it could be way, there's so much to go still, So I don't know if that's true, but just the fact that it feels like that way, it's very encouraging. So yeah, I wanted to share with you my take on looking at fasting as a journey, and if I could inspire any of you to start that journey, I'm pretty sure that you won't regret it. But do your own research before making any health-related decisions, and if you want to have all this information in more condensed, without the broken English accent, there's my book, For a Better Monday. I put the link below. You can purchase it, Kindle version or the paperback. The cover design is beautiful. So I hope people will judge the book by its cover. And yeah, thank you for watching.